Why you'd regret having super strength. Imagine you're an explorer, lost deep inside a cave at the heart of a vast desert. After endless searching, you uncover a mysterious lamp and, breathless with excitement, you grab it. One wish, your greatest dream, can come true. Instantly, your mind leaps, becoming the world's strongest superhero. But just as fast, doubt sneaks in. Is super strength really such a wise wish? Sure, it sounds great in comics and movies, but in real life, having power like that might not be the wish you really want after all. Maybe being super strong isn't such a dream come true, and here's why. First, let's figure out where real human strength actually comes from. Do you really need to hit the gym every day and lift heavy weights to be strong? Do you need huge, bulging muscles just to throw a powerful punch or kick? Or maybe, does it take something more outrageous, like getting bitten by a radioactive insect, or crossing paths with a mysterious wizard who grants you powers? Muscles are, of course, the key to strength. But here's the catch. Not all muscles are the same. Our muscle fibers actually come in two types. Type 1, the slow twitch fibers. These are built for endurance, the ones that keep you going mile after mile. And then there's Type 2, the fast twitch fibers. These are the real engines of raw power, the ones that give you explosive strength. The more muscle fibers you have, the greater your potential to be strong. That's why sometimes people who don't look big or muscular can be surprisingly strong. It's all about the abundance and efficiency of the fibers they're packing. So, how does someone end up with more muscle fibers? How do you unlock your body's natural strength? Some people are just born with an advantage, as simple as that. Genetics plays a big part. For some families, strength just runs in their blood. There are folks out there who, even without any formal training, seem to have a natural knack for lifting, punching, jumping sky high, or running at incredible speed. But what about those who weren't exactly born into a family of strong men? The good news is, even if strength doesn't run in your family, you can still build it, if you're willing to put in the work. With the right exercise and a solid diet, discipline and dedication can transform anyone. Strength training targets those Type 2 muscle fibers, while endurance workouts take care of the Type 1. Join a gym and commit to training at least 3 times a week. Start with the basics: calisthenics, powerlifting, and bodybuilding. Stick with it for a few months, and you'll be surprised. Your body will start to noticeably change. But let's imagine you've got that magic lamp. Would you wish to be super strong? Most folks wouldn't hesitate to say yes. Who wouldn't want to be like a comic book hero, tossing tanks, shattering stone walls, standing in the way of a speeding train, or hoisting a monumental statue like it's nothing? It's a power most people can only dream about. Physics tells us that human strength comes down to one thing: force, the push or pull generated by our muscle fibers. Force is measured in newtons. An average punch, about 2,500 newtons of force. That's the kind of hit you see on a heavy bag or during a sparring match between seasoned boxers. But what if you want to punch a hole straight through a solid concrete wall? You'd need to deliver a staggering 250,000 newtons of force, 100 times what a regular person can manage. That's the muscle of a real superhero. And since superhuman strength would still rely on muscle fibers, that kind of power comes with a massive appetite. Energy is measured in calories, the fuel we get from food to power everything, including our muscles. The average person needs about 1,600 to 3,000 calories a day, but someone with superhero-level strength, they need 100 times more. We're talking 160,000 to 300,000 calories daily. If a single burger has 300 calories, you'd need to eat around 1,000 burgers just to keep up. And at $3 per burger, that's a daily food bill of $3,000. Pretty pricey, right? Could you afford that? Okay, let's say you've got plenty of money, but how's your body doing? Eating that much every day would probably leave your stomach struggling to keep up. And if by some miracle your digestion could handle it, your bones, joints, and ligaments might still fall short, unable to support the sheer strength of your muscle fibers. The impact and momentum from all the power could end up wrecking the rest of your body. This problem gets even worse when you think about Newton's third law of motion. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you've got 100 times the strength of a normal person and unleash it all at once, that force is coming right back at you. Imagine you punch a tank so hard it goes flying, but in that instant, you'd feel the exact same explosive force pushing back into your body. If your bones and joints aren't strong enough, it's not just your arm that's at risk. You could get knocked backward or even end up seriously injured. The truth is, if you had the strength of a superhero, you'd need a whole set of other superpowers just to survive. Your body would have to be super flexible and incredibly durable. You'd also need a supercharged metabolism to process all the extra food. In short, you'd need an entire superhuman body just to handle your own super strength. Let's say you really hit the jackpot and everything about you is super. Of course, you've got the magic lamp, so every wish you make could come true. But what would your life actually be like once all those wishes are granted? Would it be hard to use everyday things in a world built for ordinary people? Imagine you've just come home from school, starving, and all you can think about is devouring your mom's delicious homemade soup. You reach for the doorknob, but with your super strength, you twist and it snaps right off in your hand. Too hungry to care, you push the door open and it goes flying across the yard. Alright, you can fix it later. Inside, the table is loaded with mouth-watering food. You grab a plate, a spoon, a glass, but everything bends, breaks or shatters in your hands because, well, you just can't control your strength. You're annoyed and still hungry, so you decide to sip some hot soup straight from the pot. But it's still boiling, so you blow on it to try to cool it down. One gentle breath from you and whoosh, the entire meal flies off the table. The soup instantly turns into steam, and your kitchen is now a disaster zone. You look around, knowing you'll have to clean up all this mess later. But you're just too hungry to care. You spot a leftover beef bone with a bit of meat and crunch it like it's a potato chip. Then you accidentally inhale the food particles floating around. Next thing you know, you sneeze so hard, you shut your eyes tight, and when you open them, your house is in ruins. And so are all the houses down the street. You can only sigh and think, great, looks like I'm definitely getting kicked out now. If using ordinary things is this much trouble, how could you ever hope to get along in a world built for regular people? Let's say you come home one day and everyone you love is waiting for you. You gotta greet your parents and your dad reaches out for a warm handshake, but you don't realize your super strong grip crushes his hand. In the dining room, your older sister's there, so you pat her on the shoulder. But to her, it feels like she's been hit with a sledgehammer. Your younger brother comes by for a high five, but your touch sends him sailing out of the house. You settle onto the couch, and your best friend drops in for a fist bump, but your super strength sends him flying straight out of the house. Finally, your girlfriend walks in. You hugged her tight, and in a split second, she was crushed and twisted under your grip. Eyes closed, you go in for a kiss, but as soon as you open them, it's a horror scene. Your beloved's head is gone. You scream, "No!" And your voice is so powerful, it triggers an earthquake that ends up harming others around you. Now, let's see what happens when you add the pressure. Whenever you use your fists, hands, or feet, all that strength is concentrated on a small area. So the pressure you generate can skyrocket to megapascal levels. Let's make it easy. Imagine a plane is crashing and you try to save it by pushing with your hand. The pressure from your touch pierces right through the plane's body, causing it to explode. Maybe a few passengers who jumped out could survive, but anyone you try to catch would probably end up with broken bones. Your strength is just too much for their bodies to handle. Now picture yourself in a fight. One punch or kick from you, and you could literally punch a hole right through someone or completely destroy them. There's no locking up criminals. They'd be gone in a flash. pull stunts like that, and you'd find yourself topping the police's most wanted list in no time. Of course, you might say, I could control my strength. Well, hear me out. The truth is, keeping that kind of power under control for a lifetime would be nearly impossible. Sooner or later, you'd slip up, and probably not only once. Instead of becoming everyone's hero, you could end up as public enemy number one. With that much risk, you'd probably start feeling anxious and afraid to be around people. You wouldn't want to hurt anyone, so you'd end up isolating yourself. A superhero on the outside, but living like a hermit, alone with your power. So now you're holding that magic lamp, and you can wish for superhero strength. But maybe it's time to think twice. Don't do it. Instead, how about wishing for dedication, patience, and discipline? That way, you can hit the gym, train hard, and build real strength the right way.